If you were a kid in the 60s, then Muhammad Ali was always there. He was as much a part of the time as pop music and football. Ali was as impossible to separate from the 60s as George Best and Bobby Moore and the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. My very first memory of Muhammad Ali is the second Sonny Liston fight, and my parents were boxing mad, boxing crazy, and that fight, the second Sonny Liston fight, when he was fighting as Ali rather than Cassius Clay, was on British terrestrial television. There was only British terrestrial television, and we camped out in our living room. And I remember the alarm went off when the fight was about to begin, and my mum went out to make tea and toast for us in the middle of the night. And by the time she came back, Ali had beaten Liston and was on his road to glory. I remember the two Henry Cooper fights, and I remember being shocked and amazed when Ali was knocked down by Henry Cooper. And like a lot of British Ali fans, I was torn in the Cooper fights because we wanted our guy to win, but Ali was always loved here and always revered. And Cooper cut very easily and was a brave and honourable heavyweight, a small heavyweight. And there was a growing acceptance as the 60s wore on, and Ali beat Liston once, then twice, and Henry Cooper once, then twice, that we were in the presence of possibly the greatest boxer of all time. In many ways, the fight of the century, Joe Frazier versus Muhammad Ali, the first fight, I think is his greatest moment of all. It was his first defeat, and it was his first good idea. He wasn't just beaten, he was beaten well. He was knocked down by Frazier. Frazier broke his jaw, and Frazier won an overwhelming decision. Everybody at the ringside thought that Frazier had clearly won. Muhammad Ali acknowledged it at the time, changed his mind, a bit of revisionism later. But when you watch that fight now, he beats Ali up. And yet, in many ways, Ali has never been greater, because you saw a lot of the qualities of the man that don't get talked about as much. We all know about his charm and his flash and his speed and his charisma and his silky skills. But against Frazier in that first defeat, you saw the physical bravery of Muhammad Ali. You saw the raw courage of the man. You saw his resilience. You saw his unimaginable spirit. To have your jaw broken by Joe Frazier, to be knocked to the ground by Joe Frazier, and then to get up and to be punched on your broken jaw with the left hooks of Joe Frazier, it's literally unimaginable. By the time Ali fought George Foreman in Zaire, he was definitely past his physical peak. He couldn't dance the way he used to, he couldn't move the way he used to, he didn't have that electrifying speed, which anybody that's ever been in a boxing ring knows that speed beats power. But if you lose that speed, if you lose your footwork, then you're susceptible to the enormous power of a man like George Foreman, who in Jamaica had hit Joe Frazier so hard that he was lifted off his feet. So people thought that George Foreman would beat Muhammad Ali in Zaire in the Rumble in the Jungle. And more than this, they thought that there was a possibility that George Foreman might kill Muhammad Ali. It was a real possibility. And the Rumble in the Jungle showed the inherent drama of Muhammad Ali's incredible career. You never knew what was going to happen. No film, no book, no TV series could ever compete with that spontaneous live drama of watching a Muhammad Ali fight. And what he did was he used his brain. He let Foreman hit him on the ropes, and he sucked up that power, he sucked up that superhuman strength, and then he took him to bits. and it was never less than gripping following Muhammad Ali and loving Muhammad Ali and watching his fights. And in that Rumble in the Jungle, I think Ali's fight embodied what George Foreman himself once said, which is boxing is the sport to which all other sports aspire. Muhammad Ali was the rarest of sportsmen, the athlete that transcends his sport. He was a figure of social change as much as John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy. And in retrospect now, it's amazing that he wasn't assassinated. It's amazing that he wasn't shot, because he was such a symbol of black pride and social change in America. This is the man that won his Olympic gold medal and then threw it in the river because he couldn't get served in Louisville, Kentucky in a fast food restaurant. So he was a figure of huge change, and giving up 3 years of his career, the prime years of his career, because he refused to go and fight in Vietnam is unprecedented. Nobody's done anything remotely like it before or since. He was a hero in the ring, but that was as nothing to the kind of hero that he was outside the ring.